Hey, from Studio A in Texas, USA, it's the automotive car talk show that beats everybody to the finish line. It's in wheel time. Just ahead, we are going to have a car review for this hour. It's the Dodge Challenger RT Scat Pack. We've got some news stories that you're not going to believe. And we got some general chatter that we're going to drum up.
Well, we're Chatterfields here.
We are.
Yep.
Yeah,
Chatterbox.
This is the Labor Day edition of the In Wheel Time Car Show. And, you know, everybody's off today. Everybody's taking a long weekend, probably a well-deserved weekend, especially in this part of the country with all the junk that's going on over there, recovery efforts in Louisiana after the hurricane went through there. I'll tell you what, man, I saw some devastation that I have never seen before. And I've covered lots of storms and hurricanes and that sort of stuff over there from Cameron, Louisiana, north. Whew.
Just destroyed.
Oh, my God. It's going to take them years. Some people will never recover. It is just, it's an ugly thing over there. Sorry.
And there's lots of people that are out fundraising to bring stuff over there and taking collections to bring stuff over there. So find one that's nearby to you. And if you received any help during Harvey, why don't you reach out and help somebody during Laura?
Yeah, return the favor.
I already have, and I will some more.
Yeah, it's good. Makes you feel good to help some people out.
It's just the right thing to do.
And, you know, there are people here in Houston as well that have suffered and over in Mars part of the country, over the Golden Triangle area. So if you're not doing something this Labor Day weekend, I know that there are folks around that food bank, whatever the case may be, can.
There's still people doing cleanup on their lots from all the downed trees and stuff. They'll be doing that for months.
Yes, exactly.
Get a couple of chainsaws and a couple of pickup trucks and go help somebody.
So I thought that this hour we would talk about something that is, well, it's part of our lives. And that is T-tops.
Hey, I remember working on them back in the 80s.
And do you remember when they first came out?
Well, T-top, the first T-top was on a Corvette.
So, this is a story from Hemmings Motor News, Hemmings. And the guy's name is Joe Lorio that wrote this. Of all the many bummers that were raining down on the automotive marketplace back in the 1970s, one particularly sad trend was the death of the convertible. By 76, the Cadillac Eldorado was the sole convertible offering from a domestic car maker at the time. I remember that distinctly. And it was in its much ballyhooed final year then.
Right.
In the same year that the Eldo sailed off into the sunset, the drop top's new stand-in made its first big splash. New removable hatch roof panels in the 1976 Pontiac Trans Am T-tops, as they'd become known, arrived to keep the spirit of open-air motoring alive. T-tops, however, were an idea that dated back to the late 1940s. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's when I did a piece on automotive history where the guy had patented T-tops back then.
Well, it first appeared on Auburn's and Duesenberg's. I did not know that. But until the debut of the C3 Chevrolet Corvette for 1968, that car introduced T-tops to the market, and the feature was standard on all of the Corvettes offered, including the option of glass T-tops starting in 1978. I know in my 77 Corvette, it was T-tops, and then they came out with the clear tops.
Right.
And I went from my well-earned, hard-earned bucks to the Chevrolet parts department and ordered a set of blue-tinted T-tops.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was the talk of the town. Guess how much those were in 1970?
Probably $1,000.
$1,200.
Yeah.
$1,200. Wow. Crazy. T-tops remained a Corvette exclusive until 76. That year, in addition to the Trans Am, T-tops became available on two-door versions of the Oldsmobile Cutlass and the Buick Century Regal. I didn't know the Century Regal, too. Offered as the Hearst hatch roof. They were a $550 option. At Pontiac, the Hearst hatch roof initially was part of the mid-year special edition black and gold Trans Am.
Right.
Production problems, however, forced Pontiac to remove the feature from the Y82 special edition package, and ultimately only 643 of the 2,600 special edition Trans Ams had T-tops.
It was called, the production problems was called water leaks.
Terrible.
Oh, horrible water leaks. I remember at Oldsmobile, because I started there in 78, we were still fixing 70, 76, and 77 water leaks. They recalled it, and it came with a whole new set of seals, a whole new set of mechanical latching devices. Yeah, it was.
Mars, did you ever have a T-top, sir?
No, I did not. I managed to dodge that bullet. I did take a truck one time and cut a hole in the top and put a sunroof in it. But I didn't have any T-tops.
Did you cut it in with a Sawzall?
No. You actually get a regular jigsaw like you would cut on a cabinet.
A jigsaw.
Yeah,
well, that's kind of like a Sawzall.
Drill a couple of holes and cut around.
There you go.
I think that didn't J.C. Whitney actually have some sunroof?
Oh, yeah. A little pop-up, little bubble glass thing.
Crank it up and it go bloop.
Right.
I had it on my 68 Cutlass.
Oh, my God. Dude.
I did.
And it was no big deal to cut a big hole in the roof and put this stuff in there because nobody offered it.
Right. It made you cool.
Critically, 4 of those cars with the 77 styling updates were cars given to filmmaker Hal Needham to use in the movie Smokey and the Bandit. That movie made the feature famous, cementing it as a fixture of the Firebird and, by extension, the Camaro, which got the T-tops in 1978. I thought it was a fascinating story. Pontiac's early T-tops were not installed in the production line. Instead, completed cars were shipped off to Hearst Performance to have the roof modified and the removable panels fitted.
Same thing at Oldsmobile.
Come 78, Fisher would replace Hearst as the top T-top supplier. And
Didn't get any better. They still leak.
And a new design featured larger panels with a narrower roof structure in between, as well as different latching systems. It was also less prone to leaks.
Yeah.
Less prone is the key there. It didn't say they were waterproof. Aftermarket vendors, including American T-tops and Cars and Concepts, also got in the action. Ford Mustang had a serious case of Trans Am envy in the late 70s, so it's no surprise that Ford rushed to make T-tops available for 77, the second to last year for the Mustang 2.
Wow.
Besides,
2 strikes against it.
Besides Pony, that's right. Besides pony cars, T-tops also appeared on many of Detroit's mid-sized personal luxury coupes, as Chrysler, then Ford, quickly followed GM's lead with the Cutlass and the Regal.
Yep.
I
think Grand Prix as well.
The Grand Prix, yes. The Ford Thunderbird added them for 79, where the feature worked well with the 7th generation T-Bird's basket handle roof treatment. When the Bird was downsized again in 80, however, T-tops disappeared.
Good riddance.
Yeah. And
they're cool, but park it in the garage. Don't drive it in the rain.
But you know, they stopped making the T-tops, and I know in my Corvette, 2001 Corvette, it's one solid panel. It's a Targa roof is what they call it.
Completely removable, one panel from window to window.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, in my 77 Corvette, you remove the T-tops and the whole body would twist. And those T-tops, the actual panels themselves, clearly were part of the structure of the car.
And I think in the Corvette they were actually called a T-bar roof because both glass panels came together over the middle of the car.
Correct.
Where the Hearst ones, there was a body color section that was about 6 or 8 inches wide between the glass panels. So I think that's why the Corvette was less prone to leaks than the others were.
Well, we have a special guest that's arrived. And his name is Brain Novack, and he is with Ford Performance. He's the Ford Performance Motorsports Supervisor, and he's joining us today to talk about the Mach E 1400. Brian, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. I know that you're at Indy and ready for racing, and but we've had all sorts of problems trying to get him on. Finally got him on, and we really appreciate you taking a chance to talk to us today. Thanks so much.
Oh, thanks, guys, for having me. Can you hear me all right?
We can hear you just great. The Mach E 1400. I happened to see a promotional video, and I know that you know what I'm talking about, where the thing's on the drag strip, and it's pulling the front wheels off the ground. silently with all of this power from the unbelievable. So tell me about the Mach E 1400.
So that video you're talking about is actually our Cobra Jet 1400,
Yep.
our Mustang Cobra Jet 1400, which we're running this weekend here at US Nationals with NHRA. So we've had Bob Tasca III in that car, grandson of the original Cobra Jet creator. And, they've been running that this weekend. And then the other car, our 2 electric demonstrator, is the Mustang Mach E 1400, and that's the car we did with Vaughn Gittin, the all-wheel drive drift and track machine.
Now that's more SUV-looking vehicle, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, so the Mustang Mach E 1400 is based on our street Mach E, which we've announced and shown to the public, and that's built off that car. So it's a body in white straight out of the factory. So just as we would make a Cobra Jet, so you take that body in white and you paint it, you put a roll cage in it. We've done the same thing with that Mustang Mach E 1400. Except it's got its own way over-the-top powertrain, so its own battery, its own motor configuration. So we got 3 axial flux motors in the front and 4 in the rear, connected to Winner's quick change differentials. So
wait a minute. Well, wait. You can't just throw the word flux out there without somebody mentioning the flux capacitor. Is there any relationship?
No relationship to the flux capacitor, but everybody loves the flux capacitor, that's for sure.
But it'll go faster than 88 miles an hour.
Most certainly goes faster than 88 miles an hour.
So I want to know what these things do in the quarter mile. Tell me.
What's your Cobra Jet? What kind of times you turning?
So the Cobra Jet, we've actually been down to 827, so 8.27 and 168 miles an hour.
Holy!
That was that fast. We've been over 170 with that car. Obviously, depends on what rear end gear we feel like we want to put in it. But that's been down at 827. The Mustang Mach E 1400, we actually haven't put to the quarter mile yet, so stay tuned for that one.
But I've seen the Vaughn video of it, for lack of a better phrase, and he knows how to bring some smoke out of some tires. And oh my gosh, that was so much fun to watch. We're going to post it up on our Facebook page for you.
Yeah, Vaughn is certainly a specialist at having fun and doing that sort of thing. So he was a great partner to work with on that. Us at Ford Performance, our job is to sit there and learn as much as we can about electric cars and to go racing in electric, since we're from the motorsport side. So at the time, we were looking for something to compete in or learn from, and Vaughn came to us with an idea, and we was thinking along the same lines we were, and that's kind of how we started that partnership with Vaughn, that we were able to go out there and kind of create that car, because our goal at Ford Performance Motorsports is just to learn absolutely as much as we can and try to transfer that back to the mainstream. So I get as much amperage out of a battery as you can, push it to the limits. How do you transfer that much amperage from the battery to the motor without melting stuff? So there's so many different things you can do with it, and that's our job, to do that and push it to the limit.
Well, and you're learning stuff by doing that that's going to help the production car as well. I mean, that's kind of the intent.
That's our goal in life, essentially, at motorsports, is the stuff that we do, whether it's aerodynamics or chassis development, tire development, or in this case, electric powertrain development, that what we learn here and how we accomplish that can go back. And it's not just how much power it can do, but how efficiently do you use that power. That's obviously hugely important for a street car, is range and being efficient with your power usage. So all these different things we can do with these cars, because we're not limited by rules. They're demonstrators. So both those cars were built to not an existing rule set. They're not meant to be direct competition vehicles, but they're certainly built to that level that we can go learn and do whatever we want with them.
You can just, like you say, you can just drive them and see how far you can push them.
Yes, exactly. That's the whole goal with the cars. And they've got their own. Each car has its own different powertrain setup and control setup. So they're not the same powertrain at all. So the Cobra Jet has its own four electric motors from Cascadia, connected to just the same transmission actually and torque converter that's in the Cobra Jet. The gas Cobra Jet, just a little beefed up. So that has that setup, and then the Mach E 1400, the Mustang Mach E 1400, certainly has its own very unique powertrain setup in that it does not have a transmission. It just has differentials at front and rear, and they're not connected to each other. So we have independent control of the front and the rear of the car to be able to do whatever we want for torque bias. We can actually, when we put that car into drift mode, we actually take the whole the front half shafts out of the car and turn off the front motors, and we can put it only in drift, and that allows us to get those crazy steering angles you see in Vaughn Gittin's drift cars.
And how is since you're at the NHRA event, how is that attracting everybody's attention? I imagine everybody's running to look at that car when it's on track and off track.
Yeah, no, it's been great. The response has been great. We've got both cars together. We've got Bob Tasca driving the electric car. We've got Tony Pedregon driving the gas car against each other with a little bit of a grudge match. So we've got the cars sitting right next to our Ford stand here. So we got a couple of our street cars here. And then, we've got the Cobra Jet out front and center, the electric Cobra Jet. And, with the hood popped, and everybody just come ask questions about it. And the response has been great. Everybody loves it, and especially everybody loves it when we do a monster wheel stand off the line.
As an aside, Brian, how is the atmosphere there? COVID-19, and here we are at the Big Go, and crowds are limited and that sort of stuff. What do you get? What kind of take do you get from the crowd there, and what's the atmosphere like?
It's just like another NHRA event. I'm also our NHRA supervisor, so I work, that Mustang funny car that Bob Tasca drives. I was engineering supervisor for that new body. So it's another NHRA event. So NHRA, core to their brand is fans, and we love that at Ford Performance, that the fans are here and they're close and they can see and smell and touch everything. And it's just another event, except everybody, we're all walking around and talking with masks on and everything that you have to do to stay safe. So social distancing and, there's hand sanitizer stations everywhere. But, it's another NHRA event. It's a bunch of people that love cars, and we're out here watching everybody go down the track.
Now, that they've just come out with the rest of the year's schedule for NHRA, and fortunately, Houston happens to still remain on the schedule for an October event. Are you bringing the Ford trailer with all of the electric hot rods down here? Tell me yes,
please.
So, with the adjustment, we're sitting down and looking at everything right now. So we'll see here.
Well, put us on the list if you can. The great thing is you've got Tasca, who has such a history of a Ford relationship. And, when he's driving the Nitro, when Bob 2 is driving the Nitro car, he's spraying hand sanitizer over everybody in the audience anyhow. I think
exactly,
nitromethane.
That stuff can't hurt.
Yeah, nitromethane can't hurt in the hand sanitizer category. Well, it's great to talk to you. Is the Mach E? Is it on display there?
No, so the Mustang Mach E is unfortunately not here right now, but we hope to have them both together in the future.
Is the
like in Houston, possibly?
Yeah, we'll hope.
I don't know. We'll have to see. We're going to have to look at everything. That's one of the challenges, even through development of both these projects, as we're developing them, this whole COVID situation came up. So we've been getting really good at juggling with all the changes lately. So we'll have to see what we can do.
And on the Mustang Mach E, are you still looking at a first of 2021 launch?
I believe so, but I'm probably not the right guy to ask. I don't know where we're at right now.
He's the racing guy.
Yeah, he just wants to go fast.
Brian, it's great to talk to you. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy day. The best of luck to you there. We'll be watching everything, the Ford Motorsports Racing Electric program. Thanks.
Do you know
again.
if they're going to get a little TV piece of the electric Mustangs?
Yeah, I think they're showing it on NHRA Live, so NHRA.TV. I believe it should be running all the time there when we're up. And then I think there is supposed to be a segment coming. So
awesome.
Great. Thanks.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. We really appreciate it, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Yep. The In Wheel Time Car Show live streams on Facebook.com/InWheelTime, on YouTube, and on our website, InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Podcast Addict. Quick break now, then we go for a ride with us on the Dodge Challenger RT Scat Pack. Back in a flash.
There's no greater pain a parent can suffer than losing a child. And yet, heat stroke deaths in hot cars are on the rise. The temperature inside a vehicle can reach deadly levels in just a few minutes. Leaving windows cracked does not help. These preventable deaths can occur even when the outside temperature is as low as 57 degrees. Never leave your baby or child in a vehicle, even for a short period. And always check the back seat before you get out of the car. Where's baby? Look before you lock. Paid for by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
As America gets back on the road, a lot of things have changed, but not the need for drivers to be safe. With that in mind, it's time to review our safe driving checklist. First, you're in your car. Check. You're sober. Check. You're wearing your seatbelt. Check. Your phone is put away. Check. Great. Make sure you follow the speed limit. And remember, law enforcement is enforcing traffic safety laws in our community to save lives. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hey, thanks for hanging in there with us here on the In Wheel Time Car Show. We are all things automotive. Let's check in on this hour's car of the week. Mr. Mars has the Dodge Challenger Scat Pack.
RT Scat Pack Wide Body. I mean, we're going full out here, and we are loving every minute of it. Because what we're talking about really is the two-door coupe that Dodge has brought back as part of their retro styling package in their performance group. And this is really what you might call a muscle car maximus, because it is the epitome of what a muscle car can be. You can drive it on Saturday night, you can take out on date night, and you can take it to the drag strip, and you can run it and run it hard. Now, it is part of that two-door coupe. You know, you're looking at the Mustang and the Camaro in there when you're looking at that, but it's a little bit larger than both of those vehicles because it's on the same platform as the Charger. So, but with the difference being between the Mustang and the Camaro, the Challenger actually has a rear seat that's usable. An adult can get back there, and it actually has a usable trunk to a certain extent. So it's all full of retro styling, and including the cues, because you got the hood scoops, you got the high intensity headlamps that are part of the newer technology, you got power side mirrors, and it's the one that we had the SRT wide body package. It's got the big fender flares on it, and there's a big reason for that, because it's rolling on the optional 20-inch by 11-inch wheels, and we're talking 11-inch wide
wheel.
So you got a lot of meat under there, and if you happen to opt it up and get the all-wheel drive, there's a reason for having all this, because you need that rubber to hook it up. But it's got this beautiful performance style to it and look to it whenever it's sitting there. It just got a great profile. You slide into the interior, and you're going to see that you've got the Napa leather interior, and it's got the Scat Pack embroidery logos all over it. And it's got the 180 mile per hour speedometer in the gauge cluster. Now that right there, just when you look at it, that right there is just going to be impressive, you know?
Suggested.
Yeah, it's suggested. You feel like you're going fast even if you're not. So in the center stack, you've got the 8.4-inch Uconnect screen. That's where you're going to find your Apple CarPlay, your Android Auto, and all your convenience features, as well as your performance pages. Now, this is where you can control your line lock. You can control the traction package, just the everything. It's not quite like with the Hellcat where you've got a red key to where you have to adjust everything, but it's got a lot of features in there that you're going to use. And the other great thing about having it on the interior, it had the Harman Kardon audio package. Now, this is 18 speakers, had a trunk subwoofer, and it had surround sound. So if you got tired of listening to the nice hum of that Hemi engine, then you had that to fall back on. And speaking of the Hemi engine, up front we had the 392 V8. Now, this is a 6.4 liter Hemi engine. There's a couple of variations on it. This one comes with 485 horsepower, 475 pound-feet of torque. It's backed by an 8-speed automatic that will hold up to all this power. Now, tow rating, ain't got no tow rating. Haul rating, it will haul donkey. And the EPA says that it should be looking for about 15 miles per gallon in the city, 24 out on the highway, and a combined for 18. I will say that out on the highway, we did get the 24 miles per gallon. You could keep your foot out of it, and it would do that. My combined for the week, though, I didn't even get close to the 18. We had a lot of time around town, and it was wonderful.
You were hauling a lot of donkey,
I was hauling a lot of donkey, practicing with the line lock, the launch control, you know, the things that we had to do for research.
There's something just a little bit wrong with hauling donkey. I have two different...
It's a word he can't use on the air.
I have
just in case Mom's listening.
I have two different things
or
going
Dodge
on.
is listening.
Or Dodge is listening. So you get in this car, and so because it is a muscle car, and you are going to have a firm ride on it, but it's a comfortable, firm ride because of the seating and stuff. But you can also adjust the suspension to where you get it into that track mode, and now you've got a track level stiffness in it. But that's the great thing. You can change it. If you're ready to cruise down the highway, it's wonderful, and you can take it out on. Play muscle car magic in it. Now, if you're looking again, something to compare this to, you might look at the Mustang GT. Now, the Mustang starts at about $26,000. The GT starts at $35,000. And just as a note, the Mustang GT is reportedly goes 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds. The Camaro starts at a $25,000, and the SS Camaro bumps up to $37,500. Now, a base Challenger SXT, which is the base, the V6, which is a quick little vehicle, starts at $28,000. But now if you want to graduate to fast, get away from quick, let's go to fast, and you get into the base RT Scat Pack, starts at $38,995 for that fast level. The MSRP as tested for our RT Scat Pack Wide Body, which is a $6,000 option to get all
worth
the features that come
every
to it.
penny of it.
You're talking about an MSRP of $26,355 for Muscle Car Maximus, I believe.
Muscle Car Maximus.
We got to get a T-shirt made like that, right?
Oh, you know.
That is my report.
George,
George,
can you handle that for us?
That is all I'm going to say. I'm not telling anything else about my week with the Scat Pack RT Challenger.
I'll take a large.
Maximus. I have these things going on in my mind.
Keep them there.
Yeah, please keep them there. We don't want to see them. That's a dangerous place to
If
be.
you're a member of a car, truck, or Jeep club, you can put your group in our In Wheel Time Car Club Spotlight. Just email us the club's info and the contact name and number, and we will take it from there. The email address is info@inwheeltime.com. Hang with us. Quick break now to gather our thoughts, light the incense punk, meditate, and listen to Ravi Shankar music on the In Wheel Time
Playing the
Car
sitar.
Show.
Do you know what teens just love? Not being told what you're supposed to love. That's not anyone's business but yours. It doesn't matter what you love, but if you love it, click it. That includes you too. Because in 2018, 42% of Texas teens who died in traffic crashes were not wearing their seatbelts. Make sure everyone is buckled up. Every rider, every ride. Brought to you by the Texas Department of Transportation.
Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild to wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com.